So, Illinois is in the middle of one of the biggest, most ambitious energy transformations happening anywhere in the country. Today, we're going to break down exactly how they're planning a massive shift away from natural gas. All right, let's get into it. It all boils down to this one huge, complicated question. You can't just flip a switch, right? This is about completely rethinking how millions of people heat their homes, cook dinner, and power entire industries. And this is the challenge Illinois is taking on, head first. So, for a journey this massive, where do you even start? Well, it all begins with a law, a really powerful piece of legislation that sets a crystal clear and, frankly, very ambitious finish line. And here it is. This one sentence from the Climate and Equitable Jobs Act. You'll hear people call it CEJ. This is the starting gun. It's not a friendly suggestion. It is official state policy. The goal is 100% clean energy by 2050, and that mandate is the engine driving every single decision that comes next. Okay, having a goal is great, but you need a roadmap to get there. And that's where the Illinois Commerce Commission, or the ICC, comes in. They've kicked off this whole series of Future of Gas workshops to literally build the state's step-by-step plan to hit that 2050 goal. And this isn't some chaotic process. It is incredibly structured. You can see they broke it down into these clear phases. It all started in phase 1, just getting all the potential issues out on the table. Then in 2A, they dove deep into all the possible technologies. Phase 2B was about creating these focused working groups. And that brings us to where they are now, entering the final, crucial phase, turning all this research into actual policy proposals. A plan this big is going to affect absolutely everyone. So you have to ask, who's got a say in this? Is this just being decided by a few people behind closed doors? Well, the answer seems to be a very clear no. And just look at this chart. It really gives you a sense of who's involved. We're talking about 45 different organizations taking part in these community meetings. Yeah, you've got your environmental and clean energy folks, but you've also got cities, community action agencies, and business groups. The idea is to make sure everyone has a seat at the table, so the final plan works for everybody. So, with all the right people in the room, the next job was to map out all the different ways Illinois could actually reach that 2050 goal. Think of it like an architect drafting a few different designs for a new building. You need to explore every single viable option. And this breaks down the main choices perfectly. First up, you've got all in on electrification, basically swapping out every gas furnace for an electric heat pump. The second option is a hybrid approach, using both. Then there's network geothermal, which is this cool idea of sharing heating and cooling in a neighborhood through underground pipes. You've also got pathways for super high-efficiency gas appliances, or using alternative fuels like renewable natural gas. That's gas from sources like landfills, and even hydrogen. And finally, they're modeling a much slower transition, just so they have something to compare everything against. So, how do you even begin to choose the best path forward? Well, it's not just about which one cuts the most carbon. This slide shows the scorecard they're using, and it covers everything. Of course, safety and reliability are huge, but they're also digging into the things that matter most to you and me. What's the total cost? Is it affordable? And what are the impacts on environmental justice? It's all about finding the solution that actually boosts people's well-being and doesn't break the bank. Okay, so planning is one thing, but you've got to make sure these ideas work in the real world, right? You have to kick the tires. That's why Illinois put out a call for pilot projects, small-scale tests to see these new technologies in action. And the response they got? It was huge. 103 initial ideas for pilot projects flooded in. Just a massive wave of innovation from every corner of the state. But you can't test everything at once. So the working groups had the tough job of filtering that giant list all the way down to just 10. 10 core categories that represent the most promising technologies to test out first. And here they are, the top 10. And this list is amazing. It covers so much ground. From retrofitting homes with heat pumps to making commercial buildings more efficient, all the way to tackling emissions from farms and factories. They're even testing out things like all-electric professional kitchens and those thermal energy networks that share heating and cooling. It's basically a comprehensive test drive to see what really works for both people and businesses in Illinois. Okay, so you've done all the research, you've gotten feedback from everybody, you've got a plan for pilots. What's the last step to make this whole blueprint a reality? Well, this is it. We're at the finish line of the planning stage. The whole process is now shifting from just exploring ideas to actually writing the rules. This is where the ICC and all those stakeholders take the best ideas from the pathways and the pilot results and start drafting the actual policies and laws that are going to guide Illinois for the next 25 years. And that leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? The state has done its homework, they've brought in the experts, and they have laid out all the choices with an incredible amount of transparency. Now, the really hard work of choosing a path and making it happen begins. The decisions they make next won't just shape an energy grid, they're going to define the economic and environmental future of Illinois for generations to come.